Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video of the F1 2021 Driver Career Mode with Aston Martin, episode number 32 today for the Brazilian Grand Prix, Sao Paulo Grand Prix of Season 2, round number 16. If you missed the previous episode uploaded at Mexico last week, we'll make a note, check them out, and of course subscribe if you are new to the channel to see plenty more F1 2021 Driver Career Mode videos. If everything goes to plan, Season 3 should start tomorrow. I just want to give you a heads up, that video might be a little bit later tomorrow. A slight issue to the fact the new patch is pretty much screwed over the Red Bull for me, considering the fact I spent literally the entire weekend working on the Season 3 mods. So Season 3 will look a little bit different. That's a little bit of a teaser for you, but I won't tease that just yet because of course we still got one round left to go at Interlagos. So yes, we'll get this race over. This, of course, our last race for Aston Martin, and it's actually going to be a race where we've fallen behind the team that we were with in Season 1. Williams are now the 5th fastest team on the grid. They've done a great job in improving their car, unlike Aston Martin, who, well, had a nerf and then have just done nothing because no facilities been upgraded since 1935. At all. So the fact of the matter is there is no R&D upgrades left. But yes, I mean, to be fair, we haven't won this season, unlike in Season 1. That will win at Brazil. Brazil is a little bit... We did have a great race in Season 1 as well, so it's going to be interesting to see where we can get to at Brazil, because bearing in mind I'm usually okay at Brazil. Of course, qualifying, well, we all know that qualifying, I'm useless at qualifying. The fact of the matter is I've only ever taken 2 poles on this channel in the multiple years I've been doing career modes videos, and typical qualifying, we're down in 16th place. Only the Alfa Romeos and Haas cars slower than us, but obviously we're starting our final lap as well. We've got a Red Bull behind us, so we'll try and use that to try and make me a little bit quicker. We've had a good run through the first part of the lap with the centre S's. That's the tricky part, I feel, as well. Bottas is on a 104.6, which I don't know how to do. We're faster than Ocon in Sector 1. Make that faster than Sonoda. Only fractionally faster than Sonoda. Sector 2 is where I'm losing all the time. It's just through that corner. Obviously the AI are through there. We're only haven't really made that too much time. We're only slightly slower than Ocon, so that's not too bad. So the pace is not that bad. I mean, it has been a lot worse at times throughout this season in career mode. We've slowed up the Red Bull quite a lot. He hasn't gone past us, so his lap's been ruined by me, but I really don't care about that. Bottas is in pretty much full control for us. 0.3 off Vettel. That's definitely one of the closest, although it is only enough for P16. So yes, we've got a lot of work to do. We'll see what we can do though. From 16th place on the grid, it's time for the final race in the Aston Martin time, the Brazilian Grand Prix.
Formula One returns to Sao Paulo once again with the stage set for what promises to be another classic Brazilian Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel famously clinched his 3rd championship here in 2012, and in 2016, Max Verstappen treated us to one of the finest wet weather drives of all time. We're racing today then at Interlagos, a historic 2.7-mile circuit and one of the few anti-clockwise tracks on the calendar. 15 corners in total, 9 to the left and 6 to the right, with a technical middle section opening up to a flat-out Sector 3. And that gives us our best passing opportunity down into Turn 1. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Leclerc, Sergio Perez, and Norris, Ricciardo, Sainz, Gasly and Fernando Alonso, Vettel, Russell, Antonio Giovinazzi and Ocon, and Aston Martin, Mick Schumacher, and Guan Yu Zhou and Nikita Mazepin. Tsunoda, they've taken a grid penalty, and Nicholas Latifi. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
Okay, let's finish the season with a strong effort.
I think we come up in P15 because somebody's taken an engine penalty. Now, as we know, I've told you this about before, in a 25% race, the undercut is pretty powerful. Looks like we can pit as early as lap 7 if we want to. I'm not entirely sure if the softs will hang about to the end though, but that could be pretty powerful as well. So that's I think we'll see what the tyres, the tyre performance, because we know the mediums are terrible. So we'll see how we get on with that. We might pit a lap earlier. But anyway, five red lights then for one last time in Season 2 in the Aston Martin. Lights are out and away we go, and it's an okay start. We switch all the way to the left. We want the left-hand side to make that dive bomb down the inside of Ocon. We're going to go, that's 3 wide with the Williams. A little bit of contact there with the Williams, but we are able to get through. And the actual fact is our teammate as well. No damage reported by Jeff there. So up into P12. Make that P11 to go for a dive on Pierre Gasly. Gasly doesn't want to give up the position due. We try and leave him space on the outside. The hand of frustration comes out. I think there's a little bit of contact between myself and Gasly, but we are through on the Frenchman up into P11. But Gasly, I've lost a little bit too much ERS on lap 1. Gasly's going to come around the outside, but you know how good that AlphaTauri can be in a straight line as well. So that AlphaTauri is pretty much all over the back of us in this early stint. But Russell is ahead of Alonso. The Williams is not that great around here. You can see here there's already a little bit of a gap forming already to the top 4 teams, who are light years ahead of the rest of the pack in this career mode. And speaking of the top 4 teams, the top 2, it's Bottas ahead of Hamilton. Now Hamilton is 12 points behind Bottas, meaning that Bottas will need to, if Hamilton wants to win the championship, he needs help from elsewhere. He needs Bottas to finish 4th or lower and him win the race. That's basically what needs to happen there, as Jeff recommends us our stupid tyre strategy.
Cannot be serious!
So yes, I mean, Jeff's clearly been the end of season party far too early. We are going to come in a lap earlier instead of the lap 8 or lap 8 strategy that Jeff was suggesting there. And so yes, we're coming in at the end of lap 7 onto lap 8. Just the mediums were dreadful, to be honest. The softs are a lot better as well, to be honest, and so we're just going to use the softs. We're going to come out in 19th. Giovinazzi, I think, had us something at the start. I think he was actually I think he made contact with Vettel on the outside actually. So he had, unfortunately has fallen behind, which is a shame because Williams can have a good season. They are actually a good season. As with the pit stops, then Lewis Hamilton has taken the lead from Valtteri Bottas, but that's not enough. Verstappen and Norris are closing in on those two, but they're also fighting with each other too, so they'll most fallen out. We've jumped back to our PME. Lap number 14, we've caught up to Sebastian Vettel, Fernando Alonso and George Russell. Russell has been slowing up Alonso. Alonso, not in the greatest car for a straight line speed, to be honest. I mean, that car is pretty slow in a straight line compared to the Aston Martin and Williams powered by Mercedes. And we're going to go down the inside of Alonso into the centre S's, oh so close. But Alonso yields the position. He knows it's pretty much a lost cause, and Alonso just knows he needs to follow me through to get Russell. As well. Here's a replay with a pointless replay camera, just like the Max Verstappen's camera when he went side by side with Lewis Hamilton at turn 4 yesterday. As well. Next up though is George Russell, as he tries to go around the We tried to get him through turn 1. We're not going to be able to do that. He's had a little bit of a little bit of understeer, through the center S's, and it's a comfortable move with DRS. We move up into P9, but that's really where we can Ricciardo. The top 4 teams are far too far ahead. The 2 Ferraris, though, are going to be squabbling, unlike they were yesterday, and Sainz does not want to give the position to Leclerc. He didn't give any space on the inside, but Leclerc's going to go right round the outside, up towards the hill, and that's going to allow Ricciardo to get involved as well. Sainz on the hard tyre as well. Don't know what he's doing on that. Sainz tries to force Ricciardo out, but Ricciardo keeps his foot in and has the inside as well. But I think Sainz is going to come back at them, and I think Ricciardo gets him up the hill on the final lap as well. As Lewis Hamilton has won, but Bottas has won the championship. So Lewis is not a 9-time world champion, but for us, that's a career mode. That's a chapter of our career over. Aston Martin is over. P9 today. I'll definitely take that. The top 4 teams are just uncatchable, really, as well for us.
And with that, another year of Formula One draws to a close, and the new World Drivers' Champion is declared. Another entry added to that prestigious list of the sport's most incredible drivers.
So there we go. Bottas is finally won a world championship for Mercedes. Hamilton did win the race though and got fastest lap. Yes, our fastest lap, even on the softs at the end with the lower fuel, was only still half a second behind the top 4 teams. So yes, we'll see what happens with those. But in terms of, we actually got 100 points exactly with those 2 points we needed from 9th on the grid. 4 points separating in the end Bottas and Hamilton. Norris, a late charge from the Brit. He did finish 3rd ahead of Verstappen, so he finishes ahead of Ricciardo in his little battle. I'm sure McLaren will be a force to be reckoned with in season 3. So that's definitely going to be interesting.
Great work
for
out
us.
there today.
P5.
Let's have your thoughts. Do you have any comments about this team?
No, I've not been concerning myself with that bit of cardboard.
Do you think you were lucky not to end your race with that crash?
No comment.
Well, here's hoping they're working hard to find some improvements.
So there we go, enough about Claire there. I think we did okay. I think we did pretty well considering the fact the top 4 teams are quite a long way ahead of us, really. And that really shows. I mean, the fact of the matter is, look at Sainz's results. Yes, he had a poor start to the season, and really, when we were the second fastest team, we got a lot of our points. If you consider where we had that R&D nerf, which was the French Grand Prix, we've only really had one. We've had 1 podium and 2 5th place finishes. The rest of it has been lower, 8th, 7th, 9th. And that's really been it, really. I mean, we've had DNFs as well. So it has been a roller coaster of a season, I must admit. Hopefully that's enough for Mercedes to think about it. You'll find out in tomorrow's episode, hopefully. As I said before, hopefully it's not too late for you guys. I do want to try and get that out. I will try and get that out for normal time, 7 PM UK time. But there's no guarantees of that. I've got still a little bit of work to do with the mods as well. The Red Bull, as I said, is being a little bit of a pain as well. And I'll go into more detail about that. But yes, Lewis Hamilton, not a 9-time world champion then. It's instead Valtteri Bottas. I mean, to be fair, he did win 4 times over the season. Hadn't won for... I don't know what Bottas will... I mean, he had some ups and downs, Bottas. So, to the fact of the matter is, Lewis Hamilton also had some rough races as well. So, season 3, will definitely be interesting to see if Red Bull, McLaren, even Ferrari can get involved in the fight with Mercedes. So yes, that's it for Season 2. If you have enjoyed, then leave a like, subscribe channel, and you see plenty more episodes of the F1 2021 Driver Career Mode as and when they come out. Until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, thanks so much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.